Start with the name of Allah, who is the most merciful and grateful. Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. Here's your teacher, Sarfaz Nadeem. Welcome you all after Eid holidays and Eid greetings from me. Hope you enjoyed your Eid days. Now, dear students, back to studies. Now, we have today the lecture number 16 and lesson number 12, part 1. Dear students, today we will learn about the lesson 12, and the topic we have about the lesson number 12 is Jan Air, Lowood School. Class 6 students, today we have the guided English introductory book, and we will learn the page number 64, 65, and 66 of today's lesson. And also, dear student, in addition, we will learn the novel Around the World in 80 Days. Chapter 1, An Impossible Journey. Dear students, as you know that in our course, the novel Around the World in 80 Days also include. So we will start today the reading of the chapter 1, An Impossible Journey, and it would be page number 1 and 2. So page 1 and 2 we will read here, and rest of the pages, dear students, of the chapter 1, you have to read at your side. First page and first uh, I will read here before you people, and then you will read at your home. And inshallah, in next lecture, we will solve the exercise of this chapter, An Impossible Journey. So, dear students, I am with you, Sarfaz Nadeem. So, let's start our lesson. And as you know, as I told you, that we have the lesson number 12, Jane Eyre. Jane Eyre is the lesson on page 64, dear students. So let's start our reading. Lesson. So we are going to start to learn this, dear students. You all must open the page number 64 of the guided English book. So we will start here from, okay. Jane lost her parents when she was a baby. She lived for a while with an unkind aunt. When Jane was 10, her aunt set, sent her to live at a school at Lowood. It was a school for children without parents. Dear students, without parents means this school was of such people such students, such people who are orphan, they don't have their parents. Miss Temple, the headmistress, was kind, but it was a poor school, and the girls lived hard lives. The passage describes Jane's arrival. Now, dear students, in this picture, you can see the students, the girls students are studying over here. And actually, this is a poor school, means the condition of the school is not appreciable at all. And the orphan students are coming over here to learn. And Jen was sent by her aunt to this school. So this is the name of the school is Lowood School. One cold morning in January, I was put on the coach at Gateshead and sent away to school at Lowood. The coach was drawn by horses, and the journey took a whole day. Though the darkness, I could just see a large house with many windows. Lights shone from some of them. I was laid from the coach into the house and was taken to Miss Temple from some of them. I was taken to Miss Temple, the headmistress of the school. Are you tired, my dear? She asked kindly. A little, ma'am, I replied. Give her supper, Miss Miller, and then put her to bed. she said to a teacher. Miss Miller took me to a large room. 80 girls sat there at four long tables doing their homework by candlelight. This is the picture, dear students. Here you can see that the 80 students are there, other are here, few are here, and they are doing their homework, and you can see the candle well over here as well. Their ages were from 9 to 20, and they were dressed alike in old-fashioned brown frocks and aprons. Miss Miller made me sit on a bench near the door. We will move to other page, dear students, page number 65. Monitors collect the lesson books, called Miss Miller. One tall girl from each table rose and put away the books. Monitors fetch the monitors fetch the supper trays. Okay. The tall girls went out and came back carrying trays with small pieces of oat cake on them, which they handed around. On each day, on each tray, there was one mug of water. If you were thirsty, you drank from that. I was too tired and excited to eat, but I drank some water. After supper, we had prayers, and then we went to bed. We went to bed. The bedroom was very long, like the schoolroom. On each side, there was a row of beds placed very close together. The girls undressed quickly, and two got into each bed. Miss Miller helped me to undress and told me that I was to share her bed that night. In 10 minutes, in 10 minutes, the light was put out and everything was dark and quiet. Very soon, I was asleep. A loud bell woke me early next morning. We dressed quickly and then we had prayers and a Bible lesson in the schoolroom before breakfast. In the dining room, basins of porridge were set on two long tables. The porridge was bad, even I could not eat it, although I was starving. My first day is at Lowood passed slowly. The weather was a very cold. Our clothes did not keep us warm, and we had too little to eat. Dear students, it was all about the lesson that how the Jane just came into the school and the uh, physically look of the school, and also they told us about the students. And as you know, this was the boarding school for the orphan children, so for the orphan students. So that she was orphan one because she hadn't parents. So she came over here, and then she told us about the students, what they were eating in the breakfast and also in supper, and then how they were doing the homework, about their sleeping times and everything they told in the lesson. So this was all about the reading to the students. Now we have the second phase, comprehension and vocabulary. So exercise A, we have answer these questions with simple sentences. You will find that you can use the kinds of sentences we have already practice. So here, students, we have total 14 questions given over here. Now, what we have to do after the careful reading, which we have done right now, after the careful reading, you have to write the answers of these questions. So half of the questions I will try to solve over here, and half you have to do at your home. So let's start. First question. The question was, what kind of morning was it when Jane left Gateshead? So what would be answer? It was a cold morning in Germany, or you can say it was a cold morning. And then number 2, we have, dear students, was it light or dark when the coach stopped? So what would be answer? It was dark when the coach stopped. It was dark when the coach stopped. So like this, dear students, we are, because it is very difficult for me to write over here because we have very small space over here on the book. So you can do it or at your copy, or you, if you want to write on your book, no issue. Both choices you have, you can do it. Number 3, write 2 sentences about the house. About the house. So now what we have to do, number 3 was there. The first one, what kind of morning was it, light or dark? Write 2 sentences. Yes. So what would be the 2 sentences, dear students? Write 2 sentences about the house. Yes. And here, dear students, in number 3 sentences, the house was, you can say here, the house was, yes, very big. Okay. This is one sentence, dear students. And other was, another sentence you can write as well. Yes, the house was very big. Okay. And then I will write with the below that it is because we have a red shade over here. The house was very big. It had many windows. It had many windows. So like this, dear students, it is that you can get it. The house was very big and okay. This is number 3. Now number 4, was Jane tired? Number 4, yes, she was little tired because she told, yes, she was tired. Number 5, how many girls were there in the large rooms? How many girls were there in the large room, dear students? We write how? There were 80 girls in the large room. There were 80 girls. There were 80 girls in the large room. How many girls, dear students? 80. So you have to keep these in your mind, answers, because these all are present in the lesson we read and we have to do now. Number 6, how many tables were there? How many tables were there? There were 4 tables. Very easy. There were 4 tables. Number 5, 6, 7, what did Jan sit on? What did Jan sit on? Jan sat on a bench. Jan sat on a bench. Number 8, what was on the trays? What was on the trays? What was on the trays? Small pieces of oat cake were on the trays along with mugs of water. I will write over here for dear students for you that what was on the trays. You will say small pieces of oat cakes. Yes, oat cake on the trays, on the trays with mugs of water, of water. So here, these are the dear students answers of this lesson. I tried to write over here for you. Okay, and you can write. It was number 8. Now number 9, we have what was in the mugs. What was in the mugs? The mugs contain water. You can say the mugs contain water. Water was in the mugs. Nothing was there, only water was in the mugs. So it was number 9. And number 10 is write 2 sentences. Now, dear students, the remaining number 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, it is your homework. Okay, I am going to write it here. So this is consider the homework. I'm going to write over here. This is homework, dear students. So where from? I'm going to line over here that from 10 to 11, 12, 13, and 14. It's your homework. And 10, I have done these questions, dear students. Now we will move to the another page. So here in this page, dear students, we have page number 66. And for what we have in page number 66 for exercise B, in exercise B, dear students, we have to write the meaning of the difficult words. Here, find these words in your dictionary: coach, frogs, apron, monitor, and porridge. So, dear students, it's easy for you to do at home. It's a practice. Verbally, I will help you to know about these words' meaning, and other you can do. Now, what is the meaning of coach? A horse-drawn carriage. You can say to a carriage to whom the horse pull, in other words, dear coach. Frocks, you can say old fashioned, a plain loose fitting dress. Now a frock is often a party dress. And now we say monitor, we have the apron. What is called apron? A piece of clothing worn to cover the front of a dress, tied at the waist. And then we have the monitor. Monitor, a student appointed usually by a teacher to help the others or the teachers. To help other students are the teachers, are called a monitor, you are well aware about. And the porridge is a food made of oatmeal or other grain cooked in liquid until it is thick. So these are the meanings. Now we have exercise C, dear students. Have a look over there and exercise C. What is exercise C? Learn these phrases and then finish the sentence below. Make a journey, put someone bed, do your homework, hand around something, take off your clothes and put on your clothes, and then we have share something with someone, say your prayers. So now, dear students, the words are given over here. How many? 8. And we have to give another name for this. For example, first we have, dear students, when we travel, we make a journey. So like this, we have to write over here. When we travel, when you are going somewhere else, you are doing some kind of a journey. So we say make a journey. Make a journey. Very good. Okay. And other is when a little girl is tired, her mother dash to. Now what you will say? Puts her to bed. Yes. If a little girl is tired, her mother put her to bed. So we will write here in this way, put her. Okay, 2 is already written, and we will write here bed. Okay, dear students, put her to bed. Number 3, after school we day. What we do after school, dear students? After school we do our homework. Do our homework. Good. So after the school, we do our homework. Usually, everyone. And number 4, when we have guest, we dish drinks. What we say? What we do? Number 4, hand round drinks. Hand round drinks. Here, dear students, we write hand rounds drinks. This is drinks over here. You can see. And number 5, when we undress, we dish. We take off our clothes. Take off our clothes. After the school, definitely you change your uniform and you just take another clothes for your home. So like this is. Number 6, we have when we dress, we put on our clothes. When we dress, what I'm writing here, we put on our clothes. Good. And dear student, number 7, Miss Miller dash her bed. Miss Miller shared. You will write here shared. SHAI. Shared her bed dash with Jen. And the last we have before breakfast, the girls dish. What they do? Yes, said their prayers. Said their prayers. So exercise C we have done, dear students, here. Now you can see over here we have the oral exercises. Few tables are given over here. Table 1, and then we have few more tables. Have a look over there. What is written over in tables? In first table, it is written, when did he tell you, or when did your mother do it, or when did the man lose the money? Now here, dear students, one thing I want to tell you, the did is given. It means it is about the past. It is talking about the past. When did means day before yesterday, yesterday or last week, it's all about. When did the children see the stranger? When did the two girls visit the shop? Like this is. So here in table 1A, we have today, yesterday, the day before yesterday, the next day, the following day. In table 1B, we have last Monday, last night, last week, last month. And table 1C, we have some time, a long time, a few months ago, long time ago, many weeks ago, years ago. And table 1D, 8, 9 o'clock. It's a telling about the time. Here, today means the day. Here we are telling last Monday, or we can sometime ago, about the time. And here 8 9 o'clock in the morning, at noon, and tably on Thursday, on Wednesday, early on Sunday. So here in these tables we learned about that it is all about the time, that today, yesterday, at what, at 9 o'clock, at what time. You can say several words, and these tables visit that next week. So here the students, we have all about the lesson part. So, dear students, it was all about the lessons part, half part of the lesson we have completed. Now we have a novel, Around the World in 80 Days. This is the book, dear students. You can see Around the World in 80 Days. This is a novel book you can purchase from the bookshop if you have. It's a good, and you have to open the first chapter and first page of this book, Around the World in 80 Days. Have a look, dear students. I'm going to start the reading. I will read the 2 pages, and then coming pages are next pages you have to read. And then next lecture, inshallah, we will try to solve the exercises of the chapter 1, because first page and second page I'm going to read, and the remaining pages you have to read at home. You have a plenty of time. You are supposed to complete this uh, uh, novel. Okay, so it will help you. Have a first I'm going to start of the reading of this novel. You have to be careful while reading. An Impossible Journey, The New Servant. In the year 1872, Phileas Fogg lived at November number 7 Savile Row, Burlington Gardens. He was a well-known member of a famous London club called the Reform Club. No one knew very much about the Phileas Fogg, except that he was a very polite man and a perfect gentleman. He was an Englishman, but probably did not come from London. Dear students, you have to be listen very carefully. You have to read very carefully, because the coming exercise, or the exercise which we will solve in and coming lecture, it will all about this reading section, or in this chapter. Was Phileas Fogg rich? Yes, but no one could say how he had made his money. Certainly, it did not seem quite right to ask Mr. Fogg how he had made it. He did not waste his money on foolish things, but he was not mean with it either. If money was needed for poor people, he gave it, but he gave it quietly. Had he traveled, it was probable, for no one knew the world better than he. Whenever any place was mentioned, he seemed to know something about it. Phileas Fogg had not been away from London for many years. Those who knew him best said that he always went to his club every day, and that he always arrived there by exactly the same route at exactly the same time. His only hobbies were reading the newspapers and playing whist. He often won this quiet game he always gave away the money that he won. It was clear that Mr. Fogg played because he liked playing and not because he wanted to win. Phileas Fogg did not have either a wife or any children, nor did he have any relatives or close friends. He lived alone in his house in Savile Row, where nobody visited him. He had only one servant. He had his breakfast and dinner at the club. He always had his meals at the same time every day, in the same room, at the same table. No one ever ate with him. He returned home at exactly midnight to go to bed. The Savile Row house was not too big, but it was very comfortable and well ordered. Phileas Fogg did not like anything to go wrong in his house, but the day this story begins, 2nd October, something had gone wrong, and Phileas Fogg had dismissed his servant. He was now sitting in this armchair looking at the man who hoped to become his new servant. You say you are French? Phileas Fogg asked him. Yes, sir, replied the man. But I have lived in England for some time. My name is Jane Passepartout. I have come here in the hope of living quietly with you. I have heard good things about you, replied Mr. Fogg. You know how I like to live? Yes, sir. Well, what is the time then? It is 22 minutes past 11, replied Passepartout, taking his watch out of his pocket. It was a very large silver watch. You're slow, said Mr. Fogg. Pardon me, sir, but that's impossible. You are 4 minutes slow. It does not matter. It does not matter now that you know. Now, from this moment, 26 minutes past 11 this Wednesday morning, 2nd October 1872, you are my servant. So here, dear students, it was the first two pages, page number 1 and 2 are read by me, and coming pages number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, you have to read at your home. And inshallah, in coming lecture, we will try to solve the exercise which is given on page number 85. So we will solve that exercise, dear students, inshallah, in the coming lecture. So this is, dear students, all about today's lecture. Inshallah, see you next lecture. Till that, Allah Hafiz.